Hi, this is Chuck, better known as Low Trade. Tonight I want to go over three indicators, and the main one that I'm going to be discussing is the StochRSI. This is the indicator that I chose to use. The related indicators are the full stow and the RSI indicator, and the calculations from both of those indicators are used to determine the StochRSI indication. Now, what you're going to see with the StochRSI is it doesn't give you a progression of change. It gives you a state of be in or be out. Now, if your StochRSI indicator is below the 2 line, it means you should be out of the stock. If it is above the 80 line, it means you should be in the stock, and that will be your support indication to the 5, 10, and 20 overlay, which I use for entry and exit. So basically what we're saying is if the 5 crosses the 10, that gives you an early indication to enter the stock, and if the StochRSI is in the be in state, that supports the fact that you should be in the stock. Now, how does the StochRSI determine when it should shift from one position to the other position is seen in the full stow and the RSI. Now, I'll give you a little history or information about the RSI. It is a momentum indicator. It is an oscillator. Basically what it determines is the percentage of gains versus the percentage of losses within the price change. So if the price is has a red candle, that's a loss, and the open candle, that's a gain, and losses and gains, and they are over 14 days. It calculates those percentages of losses and gains, days, and it will plot it on a graph for you. The full stochastics, is a momentum indicator also. It is also an oscillator, and it will give you the speed of change rather than the ratio of loss to gains. So basically what's happening with your full stow is if the K line is below the smooth moving average line, the red line, it's telling you that the speed of change is decreasing, and if your RSI line is retracing or lowering, it is telling you that there are more losses occurring during the 14 days than there are gains during the 14 days. All this will play out until there's a changing point. You will see here where I have the black X's. They both indicate a changing point, and these two indicators at this point are giving you an indication of a possible occurrence. Not that it will, but a possible occurrence. The change starts right here where you see your K line going above, indicating that the change in momentum has reversed and it should start increasing. At the same time, your RSI has bottomed out and started producing more gains than losses, and you see the increase in that. Now, right at that point, these two calculations put into this formula, and it tells you, okay, there's a possibility of change, and it whips up to the top to tell you you can stop being out of the stock. You can start thinking about getting into the stock. Now, as you see, as this slope increases in both the full stow, which is your speed of change, and your RSI, which is your gain versus loss change, once it crosses the 50% line, this is basically telling you you can buy the stock. You can buy the stock. Crossing the 50% line, you're in the positive. Crossing the 50% line, you're in the positive. And it just so happens that that's when the full stow goes 100% and says, yes, you can be in the stock. Now you go up a little bit further into the price, you see my overlay, which I use for entry and exit, and you'll see that the 5 has crossed the 10, telling you there's an early entry signal. So you take a combination of this entry and this supporting indicator, which is the combination of these two down here, and you have been told this is the time to buy. We'll go all the way over here if you happen to be playing this stock, which is MZEI, into the yellow area, and we'll cover what to expect in the near future utilizing these various indicators. The 5, 10, and 20 overlay is just giving you a early exit indicator because the 5 crossed below the 10. At that same point down here, you can see that the supporting indicator, the StochRSI, is telling you be out. Here it's telling you early exit. Here you have been following a reversal in momentum, and here you have been following a increase in losses instead of a increase in gains. Excuse me. So you take it out a little bit further, a couple days to the present day where you're at, and you'll see this is reconfirmed. You should be out of the stock. This is reversed again and telling you that it's going to be changing its momentum. And this is also reversed again and is now down to the 50% line in a decreasing motion. You take all these together, and basically any logical person would say, I would not hold this stock, I would leave this stock. I guess that's about it for now. I hope this information will give you a little bit of understanding on what the 3 different indicators do and how I use them, how the full stow and the RSI relate to the StochRSI. And there's absolutely no reason that if you prefer, you can't use the full stow as a oversold, overbought, possible reversals, as a entry exit with a cross above or below the 50 line, or the RSI on the same oscillator indications. If you're below the 30 or above the 70, you're oversold or overbought, meaning that there's a possible change coming. And if you cross up or down above the 50, it'll give you an entry or exit indication. There's no reason in the world why you can't use either of these indicators instead of the combination of the RSI and the overlay. It's just a personal choice. Over the years, I've been using the StochRSI and 5, 10, and 20. It has worked so well for me. You don't fool with something that works. That's about it for now. Hope you picked something up off of this, and it'll assist you in your decisions in the future.